welcome back to another screencast, and this one is on number, and hopefully you're watching this one after multiplying by 10, 100 and 1000. So this is one on dividing by 10, 100 and 1000. So again, if you've done that first one, you should find this nice and easy and you'll understand this. So let's bring it up in its full context, and all this is saying is that the numbers to the right is 10 times bigger than the numbers to the left, okay? But if we think about it in the other way, the numbers to the right of the numbers here are 10 times smaller, yeah, than the number on its left, okay? So we can see here that we've got hundreds, and if we go to tens, that's 10 times smaller than 100, okay? Tens to units or ones, that's 100 times smaller, and then from ones to tenths, and from tenths to hundredths, and from hundredths to thousandths. Okay, they're 10 times smaller every time we move the numbers along one column. So we're going to use that today to help us understand about dividing by tens, hundreds, and thousands. Okay, so remember, when we're dividing in general, when we're working with whole numbers, our answer will always be smaller than. So if you get a division question to 10, then make sure that your answer is smaller than 30, okay? Make sure it's not going in the other direction, which is making it bigger. Now, there is some exceptions to this rule when we're dividing, but on the whole, working with whole numbers, we want our answer to become smaller. So let's do this first one now. Remember what we did last time. We wrote 30 with a decimal there, okay? And on the last one, when we were timesing, we moved the decimal point, or we shifted the numbers along, okay? And we got an answer which was 300. Well, on this occasion, rather than going in this direction, we're actually going to go in this direction, and we're going to make 30 10 times smaller. So we're going to move that decimal place across and put it in there. So our answer would be 3 for that one. The next one, again, exactly the same thing. We're going to write 90.0, and we're going to make it 90 10 times smaller. So we're going to move that decimal place across to there. And that's going to give us an answer of 9. So give these last two a go yourself. I'm sure you'll be fine, but you can come back and see if you've got it right. So here we go. We're writing 120 as a decimal, which is 120.0. And then we're going to move the decimal one space across to there. So now we've got 120, 10 times smaller, which gives us an answer of 12. And on the last one, 250.0. And we're going to move that decimal place one more across there. So it's 10 times smaller, which gives us an answer of 25. I'm sure you've done absolutely perfectly on those. Let's give the next ones a go. But this time, rather than me doing it, I would like you guys and girls out there to do it yourselves. So away you go, give them a go, follow the same rules, but this time, rather than moving once, you're going to move twice. That's right. All right, pause the video, give it a go, come back and see if you've got it right. Here we go. First one up is 200 is 200.0. We're going to move it 2 spaces to the left, and that gives us an answer of 2. The next one, 500.0, we're going to move it 2 spaces, which gives us an answer of 5. Yeah, you guessed it. The next one, we're going to write 900.0, move it 2 spaces, and that's going to give us an answer of 9. And last but not least, as we fly along here, we're going to write 1,400 as a decimal, 1400.0, and we're going to move it 2 spaces across there. And just to go back to that, the reason why we move it 2 spaces is because we've got 2 zeros there, okay? And we want to make it 100 times smaller. 1,400 divided by 100 gives us 14, okay? All right, so now it's your turn again. They're going to get a little bit more difficult now, but we're still following the same process. Top tip, we may need to add some zeros beforehand. So look at this, 2.9, okay? But we need to add some zeros to the front of this to make it work so that when we move it, we've got our answer there. So I'll do the first one for you. So we've got our answer of 0.029. That's the first one. You can see what I've done there. You need to think about that as you're going through the rest of them. So give these a go. Come back when you think you've got them correct. Here we go. We're getting right into it now. So let's go for it. I've added a few zeros to the front there. And I'm going to move it 2 spaces. And there I go. My new answer there is 0.008. For the next one, I added a few zeros to the front and then moved it twice. And there you go. My new answer is 0.0035. And last but not least, and I've said that a few times today, we're going to move that 2 spaces. So we end up with 0.042. I'm absolutely positive that you are doing fantastic. But if you're not, please go back and watch the start again, because next up, we have the quiz. A nice easy one to start, a nice easy one there, and a little bit more difficult here, but I'm sure you'll absolutely know exactly what you're doing. So pause the video, give them a go, come back when you've finished. Time for the answers now, everyone. So let's go through the first one. We can see there that we moved it 1 space to the left because it's dividing by 10. On the second one, we moved it 2 spaces to the left. Okay, and we end up with 5.2. And on the last one, we end up moving it 3 spaces. So I needed to add a few zeros there. And we end up with 0.013. Now, some people ask, do I write this 0 so I could write 5.20? Mathematically, you should just chop off that 0 at the end because it doesn't change the value. 5.2 is the same value as 5.20. And the same thing here, do you put the 0 there? Well, 0.013 is the same value as 0.0130, so we don't need to write the 0. All right, everyone, I'm sure you've done really well. Please, if you've nailed this, write a revision card on it or get in contact with me for some electronic versions. If you've enjoyed the podcast, think about subscribing, definitely liking. And as always, it's been a pleasure helping you with your maths today. I look forward to seeing you back again.